I'm shocked by what I'm hearing right now, and frankly, I doubt the fashion industry is prepared for this. Chinese factories have reportedly halted all Louis Vuitton production, and Candace Owens, surprisingly, is the one raising the alarm about what truly happened. Let me be clear, this isn't a minor PR glitch or a small supply chain issue. This is a full-scale luxury fashion crisis, a complete collapse of one of the most iconic symbols in high-end consumerism. Consider what this means. Louis Vuitton isn't just a brand, it's an empire, an institution. The LV logo isn't merely printed on bags. It's embedded in culture, etched into status. So, when the factories that fueled this empire allegedly declare, "We're done," and go further to reveal how the luxury illusion is built on deception, that's not just bad news, it's catastrophic. Add Candace Owens to the equation, someone known for exposing what she perceives as deceit, and this scandal becomes explosive.
Got a lot of requests, do Hermes next. And that's why we're here in the Highland Park Mall.
In Italy, made in China, or maybe made in Chile. Oh yeah, that should be a thing, by the way. I have spent over $100,000 of my own money dissecting luxury bags, cutting them open, analyzing every stitch, every layer. Why? Because I had to know what made those bags so expensive.
Her accusations are harsh, direct, and they're prompting questions Louis Vuitton never wanted to face. This isn't just another celebrity bag controversy. It's the alleged moment Louis Vuitton lost grip on its narrative. The repercussions could transform the luxury game forever. Let's dive into the heart of this turmoil, because what's emerging from these Chinese factories isn't mere rumor, it's a full-blown admission. Reportedly, a surge of factory workers and insiders are speaking out, claiming that for years, Louis Vuitton has heavily depended on Chinese manufacturing while attaching Made in France and Made in Italy labels to justify exorbitant prices. The evidence is staggering. Viral TikTok videos show what appear to be authentic Louis Vuitton bags being crafted start to finish in China, complete with workers' narration. They're showcasing production lines, holding up bags, some even boldly, stating, "We made this, not France, not Italy, right here in China."
It requires a lot of skill to turn it and get it on the right way.
Il y a des bouchées, des bacs plus 4, 5, 6.
Now here's where it gets incendiary. Multiple influencers and independent reporters have started tracking batch numbers and materials, and their findings allegedly corroborate these claims. There are murmurs that certain bag collections were almost entirely produced in Chinese facilities, then discreetly shipped abroad to earn a fraudulent Made in Europe badge. Candace Owens didn't hold back. She reportedly amplified these allegations, thrusting them into the mainstream. Her argument, Louis Vuitton has been peddling a fantasy, using prestigious labels to conceal mass production. She claims this isn't about quality anymore. It's about deceiving loyal customers into overpaying for something akin to fast fashion, just with a luxury logo. Honestly, I think she's hitting on something far deeper than people realize. If these allegations are true, if Louis Vuitton has been disguising outsourced mass-scale production behind luxury branding, then everything we believed about high fashion might be a colossal lie. And this is just the start, because the exposure isn't only damaging reputations, it's already impacting Louis Vuitton's bottom line.
De l'entrée, où on me donne des morceaux de cuir jusqu'au moment où je vais avoir livré ma pièce. Je veux pas qu'on reproduise un geste de façon indéfinie en se disant bon bah je fais toujours ce même geste et je pense qu'on est vraiment là pour apprendre un métier et pas des tâches.
The fallout from this scandal has been nothing less than devastating. Louis Vuitton, once the pinnacle of luxury, is now struggling to preserve its reputation. Within days of these alleged factory revelations going viral, retail analysts noted a chilling trend. Foot traffic in Louis Vuitton boutiques, particularly in major cities like New York, London, and Paris, has begun to drop. Not slightly, but significantly. Think about what that means. These are flagship stores that typically have lines outside before opening. Now, silence. Empty velvet ropes. Sales associates standing idle, trying to defend price tags that suddenly seem like a fraud. If luxury thrives on mystique and exclusivity, Louis Vuitton's business model just took a massive hit. Even worse, social media is capturing this in real time. People are filming deserted stores. TikTokers are comparing inventory photos. One viral video showed someone strolling through a boutique uninterrupted, narrating how the luxury aura is officially gone. That clip alone amassed millions of views.
My point is, I think it's crazy how designer brands have been selling things for thousands when China sell them on and literally they're so cheap. If the Chinese manufacturers are making the same, like the actual Birkins, and then they are also selling these on the side as well, technically this is an absolute fucking bargain because it's the exact same material as the Birkin.
Here's the thing. This brand's power wasn't just in the product. It was in the prestige. The notion that owning a Louis Vuitton bag signified something, crafted by a skilled French artisan, not an anonymous assembly line. Now that illusion has allegedly been shattered. Analysts warn that this reputational damage could take years, if not decades, to repair. Some even suggest the LV monogram itself might be losing its cultural significance, because if it no longer represents craftsmanship, what is it? Just a logo on overpriced canvas. The damage doesn't end there, as consumers aren't just walking away, they're speaking out. People are furious, and I understand why. Imagine spending $3,000, $4,000, even $5,000 on a bag, not as a casual purchase, but as an investment, a status symbol, perhaps a family heirloom, only to discover it might have been made in the same factory producing knockoffs for $50. That's not just disappointing. It's infuriating. The outrage is everywhere. Twitter threads, Reddit forums, luxury fashion groups on Facebook, they're overflowing with betrayal. Customers who once swore by Louis Vuitton are now turning away, publicly vowing never to buy again. Some are burning their bags on camera, others are mailing them back, demanding refunds. Influencers are joining the trend, exposing their entire LV collections, highlighting flaws they overlooked before, questioning everything from stitching to leather quality. One former brand ambassador even shared a detailed analysis of her recent purchases, pointing out inconsistencies she now believes indicate mass production. The emotional backlash is real. For many buyers, this isn't just about fashion. It's about identity, aspiration. For some, saving for a Louis Vuitton piece is a milestone, symbolizing success, elegance, adulthood. Now that milestone feels like a marketing trick. What's striking is how quickly the perception shifted. 6 months ago, a Louis Vuitton bag was a status symbol. Today, it might be a warning sign. People are joking online, calling it the new Chanel with a logo. That's how fast reputations collapse in the digital age. But the real question is, if this is happening to Louis Vuitton, what does it say about the rest of the luxury industry? What's hitting Louis Vuitton right now isn't just a brand scandal. It's a tidal wave crashing through the entire luxury fashion sector. If these allegations are true, that one of the most iconic high-end fashion houses was secretly outsourcing most of its production to Chinese factories while flaunting a Made in Europe label, then you have to wonder, who else is doing it? Insiders are already hinting that this isn't unique to Louis Vuitton. Gucci, Prada, Dior, they all source materials or labor from overseas at some point in the supply chain. But Louis Vuitton being exposed this loudly is terrifying for the rest. Because once consumers realize how easy it is to fake a made-in label, brand trust is over. Luxury used to mean transparency, care, craftsmanship. Now it means doubt, suspicion. Even the term handmade is under scrutiny. Suddenly, no one knows what's authentic anymore, and that uncertainty is deadly for an industry built on mystique. Fashion editors are already penning think pieces, calling this the start of the post-luxury era. There's talk of consumers shifting to local artisans, vintage goods, or small-batch indie designers, because if you're paying $3,000, it better not be for something made alongside a knockoff. If Louis Vuitton's pedestal is wobbling, every other heritage brand is rushing to reinforce their own before they're the next name trending for all the wrong reasons. Candace Owens stepping into this chaos was like pouring fuel on a fire. Known for her unfiltered commentary, she's not typically a fashion world figure. But when she saw what was allegedly happening behind Louis Vuitton's luxury facade, she didn't hesitate. According to Owens, this wasn't just a brand betrayal. It was a manipulation of consumers at the highest level. She reportedly claimed Louis Vuitton exploited people's aspirations, selling a French fantasy that never existed. In her view, the luxury market thrives on deception, and Louis Vuitton got caught. When Owens speaks, her audience listens, and suddenly, people who never cared about fashion scandals are engrossed in this one. She brought the story mainstream, pushing it into spaces where it couldn't be ignored. Podcasts picked it up, commentators debated it, even finance experts weighed in on LVMH's stock vulnerabilities. What really resonated was Owens's framing of the issue, not as a fashion scandal, but as a class deception. You're not just buying a bag, you're buying a dream. And if that dream was always fake, the entire luxury industry has serious explaining to do. Whether you agree with her or not, Candace Owens turned a niche controversy into a cultural moment. And for Louis Vuitton, that spotlight is devastating. Now that the story's out and the silence is broken, what happens next could reshape the future of luxury fashion. Because once consumers stop believing in the magic, the entire model begins to crumble. Louis Vuitton can't just release a new collection and hope this fades away. Not when every shopper is now scrutinizing the inside label, wondering, was this really made in Italy, or is that just what they want me to believe? The trust is shattered, and rebuilding it requires more than damage control. It demands transparency, accountability, perhaps even a complete rebrand. There's already talk that LVMH, the parent company, is considering internal audits, public statements, even opening select factories for media tours. But will that suffice, or is it too late? Meanwhile, resale markets are flooded with people offloading their LV collections before values plummet. Luxury consignment sites are overwhelmed, and fashion influencers are pivoting away from LV in their content, knowing that aligning with the brand now risks their credibility. What we're witnessing is a power shift. For the first time in a long time, the luxury consumer holds the cards. They're demanding answers, demanding proof, and Louis Vuitton had better start talking, because silence isn't classy, it's suspicious. This controversy is more than a scandal. It's a wake-up call for the luxury fashion world. Brands must reassess their practices and prioritize transparency to regain consumer trust. As for us, the consumers, it's time to question what we're truly paying for and demand honesty from the brands we support.